Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm just going to show you today how to make a Keralan style fish curry. This is using coconut milk as its base as well. So it's a really nice creamy weekday curry that you could make that doesn't take very long at all. You probably need about 10 minutes to prep all the ingredients that goes into the sauce and also the fish, but if you buy pre-filleted fish, then it's a lot easier. So all you've got to do then is either use them as obviously a nice big chunky fillet, or you can, if you want to, because what I like to do with my fish is kind of have them in nice little cube sized pieces. So this is about 500 or 600 grams of salmon that I'm using today. So I've just cubed them up nicely. What I normally do with my salmon is I buy it whole, and then I will just prep them the way I like it and freeze them, and that usually stays in the freezer for a good few months, so it's there ready and for you to use whenever you need to. You need some curry leaves. This is probably about 2 teaspoons of curry leaves. I'm using some dried curry leaves because it's easier to find here in the UK and a lot cheaper, and the flavors are great, so it works really nicely in most curries and most Indian dishes that I cook. I've got about one sort of small to medium-sized onion here. I'm using red onion. I prefer red onion in this curry normally. It just gives it a much more deeper flavor, and it's not as sweet compared to a white onion, in my opinion anyway. So I think it just gives the curry a much more savory flavor. Now I've got about a teaspoon of rock salt here. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's right there. I've got about 4 green chillies that I've just slit in half. And then I've got some ginger here. That's probably about a 2-inch piece, so about sort of, that size ginger, just julienned nicely. And I've got half a teaspoon of turmeric, and I've got here about 3 teaspoons of chilli powder. Now the chilli powder, you can either use a hot chilli powder if you prefer your curry nice and spicy, or you can use a very mild kind of paprika or a mild chili powder as well instead. Now, the star of this dish is really this little guy over here. I don't know if you guys can see this very clearly up close, but anyway, this is a sort of a Keralan type of pot tamarind, I think it's called in English. So what they do is they collect this fruit. It's very sour naturally, and then they kind of smoke dry it, so then it goes into this sort of nice black color. So it's got a really nice smoky smell to it, and it's very, very sour. So it gives this curry a nice hot taste with all the chilies, and also a nice sour taste with this particular pot tamarind that we use. Find this, that will give it the most authentic flavor. So at this point, all you've got to do is just kind of use your hands and mix the whole thing together. So what you're trying to do is just obviously, first of all, get all the flavors, all the masalas mixed in. But at the same time, you do want to kind of, if you can, once you've done the mixing, just crush it a little bit in between your hands. Now the crushing bit, what that's going to do is just softens the onions a little bit before the cooking starts. And I don't know, for some reason it just tastes a bit nicer at the end. To be fair, it's something that my mum taught me, and I'm just following her instructions step by step. So I usually end up with a pretty nice fish curry, and I dare not say it's as good as my mum's, but I think it's pretty close. Once you've actually mixed all of the masalas and the onions and the chilies and the tamarind and everything, you've massaged it and mixed it in nicely together. I've added about 300 ml of water, just room temperature, normal water into there. You can add a bit more if you want to. It just really depends on how much of a sort of sauce or gravy you need. Obviously, when you're cooking the fish, just before you cook it, you are going to add a little bit of coconut milk in there as well. So at the minute, I've just added about 300. I've got about 200 left in there. So I'm just gonna cook that now for about 5 to 10 minutes, just until all of the flavors have amalgamated together, and also for the tamarind to start releasing its sourness, because the fish doesn't take very long to cook, so you really want to make sure that the flavors that you want in the curry are already in the sauce. It's been about 5 minutes now, and you can see that the whole thing has come to a boil. That's what you want, nice sort of high boil there. And at this point you're ready to add in the coconut milk and let that simmer as well and come to the boil. I normally use powdered coconut cream powder, so I've used about 3 tablespoons of coconut cream powder to make about 200 ml of coconut milk. Now I'll show you the powder that I use. It's this one here. It's a Thai product, and it's really nice. So you can make sort of thick coconut cream with this or thin coconut milk with this, depending on obviously what you need for your curry. It's really good. I like this a lot. So time to add this into your curry. So just pop that in. Okay, now this needs to come to a boil as well. Mix that all together nicely. So this curry usually is a very beautiful orangey red in color. So you can see there, that's a lovely color. That's the color you want ideally. So guys, the curry is just boiling away nicely here, and once you see the bubbles come up again after you poured in the coconut milk, it's time to taste it, just to make sure that the sauce is to your liking and all the flavors are nice and balanced. So mainly, as I said, for this curry, it's a balance of saltiness, spiciness with the chili, and the sourness from the pot tamarinds. So to me, that tastes really good. And at this point, you can add your fish in, and it's ready to start cooking in there. So this is what it looks like once you've put all your fish into the sauce. Now at this point, just to pop the lid on and let it come to a nice rolling boil. Ooh, look at that. So the curry has come to a nice boil here. And at this point, you just take the lid off and leave it off until all of the fish is cooked. Now, I've cut my salmon up quite small, so it shouldn't take too long. I'd probably say just boil it for about 5 to 7 minutes like this, and it should be cooked perfectly. So, as the curry is going, I'm just going to be preparing for the last and the final sort of step in completing this lovely fish curry, which is just to make the final seasoning of the curry. And so just get a little a small pot going, use a little frying pan, anything that you have to hand to cook in. And I'm just using vegetable oil today, probably about 2 tablespoons to 3 tablespoons. You need a good glug of oil there. And just let that warm up nicely for a bit. And into that, you just want to add a good handful of chopped or cubed onions, like so. This is cooking nicely, the onions here in the oil. The other thing you can do is also, once it's sort of halfway cooked, add in a few handfuls of the dried curry leaves in there too. Now again, it just gives it a lovely flavour. That's looking really good now. So I'm going to turn the heat down because it's starting to sort of brown nicely now. So when you start to see that browning happening, put it onto a low heat because you definitely don't want it to burn. Can you see all of that lovely oil that's come up to the top of the curry? That's from the salmon. So the salmon's released all of its oil. So that means that that curry is done. You can turn it off. Well, so I'm not going to put the lid back on until the curry is cooled down enough. And if you look into this bit now, you can see that the onions and the curry leaves together in this pan are looking nice and crispy and golden brown, which is great. That's all you want. So at this point, you're ready to add that into your curry. So that's the finished product, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to do it a little bit differently, as you can see, and I really hope you try this recipe. It's my mum's recipe. We all love it in our house. It's absolutely delicious. Really lovely recipe, and I hope you guys all try it and let me know in comments if you liked it. If you would like to see more curries, please let me know, and if you'd like to see me cook anything else, also let me know, so I know what kind of recipes you guys want to watch. Please share, hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe to my channel if you are new. Thank you so much for supporting me. Have a lovely day. Bye.